In this episode, we're going to look at another quote from Neville Goddard, how your inner conversation manifests outer circumstances. If you are new here, make sure you stay tuned because in this series I am looking at each of Neville's 25 quotes in his book, How to Let Your Imagination Work for You, and breaking them down so that we can apply them to our lives and start manifesting everything that we want. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what Neville quote has helped you the most, or what you would like to see next. That sounds really frustrating. I'm happy to listen if you want to talk about it. His teachings can help us improve our relationships and overall quality of life. And Neville's teachings can help you do that. Neville teaches us that we can create our own happiness and success by changing our thinking. We imagine ourselves failing and then give up on our dreams, but we must never give up on our dreams. Failure is just a stepping stone to success. All you could need or desire is already yours. You only have to recognize it. This is such a powerful statement, and it's one that I think we need to hear more often. Look around you and appreciate all of the abundance that is in your life. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you got some value from it. May all of your wishes come true? If you did, please make sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of it. Also, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss an episode. I post new episodes every single week, and I would love for you to be a part of this community. When you do this, you will realize that you already have everything you need and you will be happy. We often think that we need more money, more love, more success, when in reality, we already have everything we need. We just need to open our eyes and see it. This is what Neville is telling us in this quote. He is telling us that everything we could ever need or desire is already within our reach. We just have to recognize it. Every successful person has failed many times along the way, so don't let fear hold you back. But I promise you, if you look around, you will see that you already have everything you need. You may not have everything you want, but you have enough, and that is all that matters. When we focus on what we don't have, we will never be happy. We will always be striving for more and more, and we will never be satisfied. But when we focus on what we do have, when we focus on the abundance in our lives, that is when we will truly be happy. Abundance is not just about money or material things. It's about everything that we have in our lives, including our health, our friends and family, our experiences, and even our struggles. All of these things are abundant and we should be grateful for them. Imagine what you want and then go out there and take action to make it happen. Remember, your imagination is the place where your wishes meet the laws of the universe. And he gives us practical techniques that we can use to do this. We have been focusing on the law of assumption and how to live in the state of having already achieved our desired outcome. As we move forward, we will continue to learn how to use our imagination to manifest our desires. The key to manifesting anything that you want is to believe that you can achieve it. Don't let anyone or anything stand in the way of your dreams. Go out there and make them happen. But Neville also reminds us that we must take responsibility for our actions and the consequences of our actions. He teaches us that we must be willing to change our behavior in order to change our lives. For example, Neville teaches us that we expect to attract wealth into our lives. If we are constantly thinking negative thoughts about money, in order to change our financial situation, we must first change our thoughts about money. Neville also teaches us that we expect to have healthy and fulfilling relationships. If we are constantly thinking negative thoughts about other people, if we want to improve our relationships, we must first improve our thoughts about other people. And then they started to tell me what was going on. So I listened and asked clarifying questions. After they finished talking, I then offered my perspective. When you want to manifest something in your physical reality, you have to first imagine it in your mind. This is where your wishes meet the laws of the universe. By imagining what you want, you are sending out a vibrational signal to the universe, and the universe will work to bring your wish to fruition. However, your imagination is not the place where your wishes meet the laws of the universe. It is also not the place where your hopes and dreams meet reality. Your imagination is the place where your wishes meet the laws of the universe. What this means is that when you imagine something, it doesn't just magically appear. You must also take action in order for your wish to come true. For example, if you want to be an actor, you must take action. You must get out there and audition. Just because you imagine yourself being successful as an actor doesn't mean that it will happen. You must also take the necessary steps in order to make it happen. This is why imagination and action are so important. We often think that in order to manifest something, all we have to do is imagine it. But that is not true. You must also take action. I still offered help, but I made sure to only do that after I had acknowledged how they felt and allowed them to express themselves. This approach takes practice, but it's important to remember that your inner conversation manifests outer circumstances. If you are constantly having an inner conversation of not knowing how to help people or feeling that you have to fix their problems, then those thoughts will manifest in your outer world and people will start to see you as someone who and listened without giving advice. Okay, on to quote number 26. When people bring you their troubles to share, do not attempt to offer advice or suggest a course of action. Such an attitude can be very annoying to the person who is seeking only sympathy and understanding. Only when they ask for your opinion, should you then offer any suggestions? This is something that I have always struggled with. I used to think that if someone was telling me something, it was because they wanted my advice or help. So I would try to fix their problem or give them some advice. But almost always I was wrong. And this would lead to tension in my relationships because they would get frustrated that I was unlistening. And I felt bad because I thought that I wasn't being a good friend. It took me a long time to learn that sometimes people just want to vent, and do you want advice or help? They may even feel embarrassed about their situation and bringing it to you. So, for me, there is a fine line between being a good listener and trying to help. The best way that I found to navigate this is to first let them know that you hear them and acknowledge their feelings before you try to give your advice. For example, the last time a friend came to me upset, I said, "Hey, I'm sorry you're going through this. Every time I make a Neville quote video, I am amazed by how relevant and helpful his teachings are today. So, if you are struggling with a particular situation in your life, know that you have the power to change that situation. It all starts with changing your thinking." This leads me to the next quote, which is, "Your imagination is the place where your wishes meet the laws of the universe." Many times we hold ourselves back from taking action because we are afraid of failure. As we continue to explore these Neville Goddard quotes, I want you to keep in mind that each one builds upon the last. Here's another quote from Neville that I think you'll enjoy. I know this can be hard to hear, especially if you're going through a tough time right now. The next time you find yourself wanting more, stop and take a breath. Well, that's it for this episode. Before we go, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'd like to wish you all the best in your manifestation journey.